Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I have a video for you today on a holster that I just finished for this Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. This is the full-size 9mm. There is a compact version that I think I'm a little more partial to, but nevertheless, this is a nice gun. Just so you guys know, in case you're concerned, the magazine is empty and there is nothing in this chamber. So the gun is cleared and it is safe. Although I'm going to use the word safe to indicate that there's nothing in this gun and therefore it cannot be fired, but the position of the safety is going to be on for the majority of the video. So, alright, so here's the holster, and this one's going to a local customer. He dropped this M&P off to me earlier today and asked if I could make him a holster that was IWB, that had multiple ride height positions, that would cover the magazine release and would also help conceal the handle. He's a skinnier guy and he says he has a lot of issues with the handle printing when he tries to wear with the holster that he's got right now. So so we've got some different implements on this. I just want to show you real quick. First off, let's go with the covered magazine release. What is your opinion on that, guys? I know most holsters expose the mag drop. Mine typically do, but I've done a couple per the request of the customer where I've covered the magazine release. Honestly, more safety is probably a good thing, but I've never had an issue with an exposed one. I've never felt like I was accidentally going to hit it. So I'd really be curious as to why anybody is doing it one way or the other for holster builders out there. So if you guys have any insight as to something that I'm missing here, maybe comment that down below and let me know what you think of that, what you've heard, what you've experienced, and yeah, I'd really like your opinions. As far as the ride height positions, you can see, let me see, under here, under this belt clip, there are actually 5 sets of holes. So you can kind of see one of them's a little bit hidden, but there are 5 sets of holes. Right now it's seated at its highest belt clip position, which effectively is the lowest ride height, and there's also some adjustability with this concealment claw. I'm going to explain this device in just a second, but you can see that there's a third hole down here, so if you want to, you can lower this by 1 spacing. So there are 2 positions for this, 5 for this. Now, as far as how you would determine where you want the claw, I've basically measured it out so that it works when you move this in the top 3 sets of holes. You can leave this claw right where it's at in the top 2 holes here. And when you move to the bottom 2 holes for the belt clip, which would be the highest ride height for the pistol, you want to move this down into the bottom position here. Obviously you can mix and match and play around with that and see what you like, but that's the general idea with those. The retention, I can't remember if I already said, but is adjustable with these 2 screws. So I have it set up exactly where I like it. It feels like it's a really good draw, but there's not a lot of rattle. When it's outside of the waistband, like just holding it in your hand, you get a little bit of rattle, but that pressure, once you put it in, is going to completely eliminate that and make it feel really snug and comfortable, and you'll still get the same draw going on. One of the things that I want you guys to consider when you ask for a holster that has a claw or any other device that helps to hide the handle, which I personally think is a better option than not, but there is a con to be discussed, so I want you guys to know about it. So when you have it seated in here, because that handle is pushed pretty aggressively up against your side or against your appendix area, wherever you're carrying, you do have to really more aggressively get your thumb behind it to get a high and tight grip on your holster, which is definitely preferable as far as the stability of the shooting. So you definitely need to drill with your individual weapon and the holster that you get for it, but I'm not a fan of having to draw and then adjust my hand. Obviously you're going to be drawing when seconds are absolutely critical, so just drill with it a little bit and get that set up the way that you like it, the right retention, and practice the position, how to get your hand into it just right, so that when you draw out, your grip isn't compromised. You have all that space filled up there, and as well as down below the trigger guard. Just my 2 cents there. All right. Obviously it's in black, and the reason that the safety is remaining off for the majority of this is because the position that I molded it in is off. You're not worried about your gun going off while it's in its holster. Full trigger guard is covered by the Kydex here, so there's nothing that can accidentally pull that trigger. And then when you do draw, it's just ready to use. So I think that's a good feature there. Okay, so we talked about the claw itself, but there's actually one other feature that I want to show you with the belt clip that helps to hide this handle. So it occurred to me that something like a torsion holster, which is set up with a belt clip here and a belt clip here, and the Kydex is kind of angled off like that, it causes the handle to get sucked into the side a little bit. What I did with the belt clip on the face of this, normally you see them kind of riding parallel to the handle like that, but I've actually set it up, you can see I've got that pressed flat, I've got it set up like this so that the belt is going to travel outward a little bit more before it can curve down, and then coupled with this claw that really does the trick to hide the handle as much as possible. So just so you guys can see, I put a belt out on my table. Normally holsters, when they don't have this claw, kind of travel around like this, and the contour of your body, you can see how far off of that belt the handle is sticking. But now if you look at it when you have the claw over it, I mean, I don't even have to control the contour of this. It basically is hidden. So you have much less, it's a significantly smaller portion of this handle that's exposed. So that's really the effect that the claw provides. It pushes it inward against your body. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I've got on this. So let me know what you think of the holster. Let me know what you think of the M&P 2.0. And definitely regarding calibers, I'd like to know what you guys are carrying. Actually, let's just talk full model and all that. Get some conversation going below, and I'll try to chime in as well. But I'd love to know what you guys are carrying and why you chose it, and what you think of this particular firearm. So, alright guys, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I appreciate you tuning in. Stick around for the next one. God bless.